of Optimal Health members, and got a great topic of discussion today. Please hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. We're here to help people in the community and beyond. The topic we're going to talk about today is on the world of statin medication, otherwise known as cholesterol-lowering drugs. I'm going to break this down. This is going to be quite a bit of information today. I encourage you to go back to this video multiple times so you truly understand what possibly you're putting into your body, or that what your friends, family members, or loved ones are putting in their body as well. So let's dive in. There is a high population of people on these drugs. Why are people on these drugs? Well, they're mostly on these drugs to help lower cholesterol in their body. Normal cholesterol is technically under 200, but sometimes we've seen people be prescribed medication because their cholesterol is at 220, is at 230, 240 and above. But I've also seen people be on these cholesterol lowering drugs when the cholesterol is way below 150 and they're still on high amounts of that drug, a high dose of drug when they don't need to be, getting the labs they need on a regular basis to determine if they still need to be on these drugs. So first of all, we have the statin class drug. Now, a statin drug is known as atorvastatin or pravastatin, called Lipitor, which is atorvastatin, which is the most commonly prescribed drug in the country. And by the way, the two most commonly prescribed drugs in this country are number 1 and 2, statin drugs and high blood pressure. They usually come together. I'm also finding it too that if you're a type 2 diabetic or have high cholesterol, you're also going to be on one of these drugs, okay? So let's go into this. The main purpose of a statin drug is to lower cholesterol, all right? Well, cholesterol is something we need in our body. And remember, this drug does not discriminate where that cholesterol is. It's going to affect cholesterol throughout the body, not just what's building up in the arteries, okay? This drug is one of the most toxic drugs on the market, okay? It's also known as a mitochondrial toxin, and I'll explain to you what that is first. But let's break this down. So some of the main effects of statin drugs, they'll lower cholesterol, but what a lot of people don't understand too is that it also helps thin the blood too. So if you're on a blood thinner and taking this drug at the same time, please be careful, because what we find that is a commonality between being on a statin and also on a blood thinner is the propensity of a possible stroke or more blood clotting. As we increase with age, taking these statin drugs, that's going to create more mitochondrial problems, which leads to more decrease in energy and also new adverse effects. The biggest thing about statin drugs too is that over time we found in studies that it increases insulin. Okay, now insulin is a fat-storing hormone, but it's also when that insulin hormone goes up, your risk of prediabetes and type 2 diabetes goes through the roof. Over time, you're going to be prone to what we call peripheral neuropathy. Now, I'm going to say something here. You don't have to have type 2 diabetes to get peripheral neuropathy. And peripheral neuropathy is a condition where the myelin, which is the coating in your nerves, degenerates and you get numbness, tingling, and sometimes excruciating pain in the hands and feet. We're going to go more about that later. So the other thing too about lowering cholesterol, let's talk about where is cholesterol most concentrated in the body. Well, first of all, our brain is 65% cholesterol. Our eyeballs are made out of cholesterol. Our nerves have a coating called myelin, which is the coating on your nerves. That's a form of cholesterol. And lastly, cholesterol is needed, well, we need for vitamin D in our hormones. It's very important to have. When we're on these drugs for long periods of time, we're also affecting a lot of systems in our body that we don't realize are going on in the background. Statin drugs here lowers cholesterol, but not only does it lower cholesterol, it also lowers what we call coenzyme Q10, okay, otherwise known as CoQ10. Now, CoQ10 increases energy within the mitochondria. The mitochondria is an energy-producing cell, okay? These cells are important in providing energy to organs in our body that require lots of energy. Your liver, because what does the liver do? It's a filter. It's constantly working for you. It's filtering out everything, every toxin, everything that goes into your body, right? Now, let's talk about the filter. So that filter being the liver, if you're on drugs for a long period of time, I don't care what drug it is, do you think it's going to affect your liver over time? Of course it is, right? The more toxins we have in our body, the harder the liver has to work. So the liver needs a lot more energy. The brain, again, the brain uses a lot of energy, and it's 65% cholesterol. It's always on. Even when we're asleep, it's still on. And lastly, the heart, okay? the heart requires lots of energy. It's pumping, right? If the heart doesn't pump, well, let's just say bad things happen. The most mitochondria is located where? On the heart. What's the heart made out of? You guessed it, muscle. It's one big muscle. And again, what did I say? The most mitochondria is located on the heart. So you really got to ask yourself, is this drug really protecting me from heart disease? Is it really going to help me with my longevity? Is it going to help me prevent further heart attacks and strokes? My answer to that question is I don't think it will. The statin drug will eliminate the production of CoQ10, which increases energy and also quenches free radicals. And free radicals are these things that we're trying to keep away from our body that we're exposed to on a regular basis that make us age faster. They create disease and sickness and inflammation. But also what these free radicals will do is they get us sick, okay? So we need CoQ10 in our body to help prevent from all these things. Statin drugs, again, lowers cholesterol. Also, it stops the production of CoQ10. If we stop the production of CoQ10, which increases energy, it's not going to energize the mitochondria, which is therefore not going to provide the energy needed that our liver, brain, and heart require for full function. Doesn't sound like a good thing after all, does it, right? You can see where this is going. And as we get older, the longer we're on these things, it multiplies the adverse side effects that we could possibly be experiencing right now. Some of these side effects could be a decrease in energy, increasing in free radicals, okay? Increasing further damage to our mitochondrial DNA, otherwise known as, well, this is the primary side effect, by the way. The primary adverse side effect of a statin drug is rhabdomyolysis, the deterioration of muscle tissue. So if you have muscle soreness or pain or all these things that go on, or tendon pain or whatever, you just notice, wow, I'm just finding myself in a lot more soreness and pain than I ever have been. That's the culprit. That's the primary side effect of these drugs. What I have found that in almost 30 years of clinical practice, when people come in and I find out they're on these drugs, it's not because they've had a heart attack or stroke as to why they're on those drugs, because they have high cholesterol. But I've also found that they're not going to have a heart attack or stroke because they're on that drug. But what we've found is that they have numerous side effects or adverse effects from the prolonged period of time they've been on that drug. When people can't feel their hands and feet, some of them might say, look, you're not even a diabetic and you have this stuff. I relay that right to the drug. And that statin drugs will eventually cause peripheral neuropathy and other things if you're on it for a prolonged period of time. And another thing you want to think about, folks, is we're not designed to be on these drugs for long periods of time. We're only supposed to be on this as a bridge to help us get healthier and then get off these things altogether, because all they're doing is poisoning us. Toxin, daily, monthly, yearly. Think about that. Think of the stress that this drug is putting on these organs, okay? And you're wondering why Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's is going through the roof in this country. What's the number 1 and 2 highest drugs prescribed in America? Statin drugs and high blood pressure medication. Coincidence? You be the judge. If we don't take care of things from a proper or a more efficient lifestyle in what we're eating, some of the best things to take for regulating cholesterol is fish oils, okay? Again, those good things, eating good oils like coconut oil, organic olive oil, avocado oils. Stay away from all the seed oils, the vegetable oils, the canola and all that stuff. It's horrible for you because it's inflammatory. And start putting better things and start making better lifestyle choices, because the longer we're on these things, you're going to be adding more adverse health effects, and these things will start multiplying. And then guess what's going to happen? Now you have another problem you got to deal with, and you got to be on another drug for that, and then another drug for that, and you get where this is going. So, bottom line is, if you're going to be on this drug, have a plan to get off it by, one, modifying your lifestyle, maybe consulting people like ourselves that are functional medicine practitioners to help you get healthier, start teaching you about making better choices with the food you eat or some of the things you buy. And also, just what do you got to do to basically not be a risk anymore of heart disease or high cholesterol, high blood pressure. These are all things that we help our patients learn more about, and we hope that we threw a lot at you right now, but we want you to understand that when there's a lot of effects with not only just statin drugs you take, but any drug you take. They call them side effects for a reason, because they know about it. Well, why are they then side effects? Guess what I call them? Direct effects. Because they're telling you that it's going to happen. It may not happen at this point, but it might down the road. So always keep that in mind. There's no such thing as a drug that doesn't have side effects, trust me. but really think about when you're on a drug for a prolonged period of time, what are the cumulative effects that it's having in the background to your body, and how is it affecting other organ systems and cells of your body? Put it this way, if anything affects my brain, that's my central nervous system. This is the CPU of a computer. If this thing goes down, everything goes down. And here's my point. And I've had this conversation with a lot of people who has parents on these drugs that are going through Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's. I go, think about this. You know, we don't want our parents to ever get to a point where they don't remember us, or they're going through this, what we call a neurodegenerative disease. But if they're on that drug to, help prevent them from having a heart attack, after a while, does it matter if they don't remember who you are or don't remember who they are because they can't think anymore? In medicine, the primary organ to always protect is the heart, okay? But in my world, does the heart matter if you don't have a brain that works anymore? You be the judge of that, okay? So anyways, a lot here to think about. If we can help you, and if you like this, please hit subscribe. We're gonna have a lot more videos coming down the road here about health and things like that. And please, give us a call if we can be of service. You can go to optimalhealthnumbers.com. That's optimalhealthnumbers.com and make an appointment there. And please, hit that subscribe button, hit like or that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it, and we look forward to being of service. And just remember, the body always wants to heal.